Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a different one. We're going to be working on 3 businesses as opposed to 2 businesses in our testing today. We're going to be doing the liquor store, the nightclub, and the clothing store. Now, I am slightly surprised by some of the results on all 3, to be honest, but I think it's going to be kind of obvious which one's going to land on top. But of course, as always, stay tuned, see what that looks like. And of course, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Got plenty more where this is coming from. And of course, if you like the video at the end, give it a thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. Anyway, guys, let's get this started. Okay, guys, so let's get the first business set up here. We're going to be working today on the liquor store, the nightclub, and the clothing store. We're doing a triple header. So let's start with the first one here, the liquor store. We have plenty of experience with liquor stores. I'll tell you what. I am going to be using blueprints for all 3 locations, which is why I'm able to do 3 today. Normally, you know, I'm not able to really time it out enough to have enough time to do 3 locations, but because of the blueprints and everything, it should make everything super easy for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to get everything set up, get this place blueprinted in, and we will meet back up there for day 1. All right, guys, we are in the liquor store. We've seen this before. It should be very familiar to hopefully most of you. But yeah, it's a straightforward location, easy to blueprint in. I mean, it's got everything we need. So we just need to hire some people in and go from there. Now, I haven't set the pricing just yet, but I want to go over my methodology on the pricing the last few businesses that I've done. Before, there's one business where I actually tried to max it out. It didn't work out well. I did adjust it and everything, and the results are exactly the same for the most part. But with this, in this case, what I've been doing for all but one now, I've been doing this. Just taking the lowest market price and making that my price. Because if that's the lowest market price, then I know at least across the board, the rest of my businesses are using the lowest market price. So it should be relative to each one in that regard. That's how I'm trying to make it at least, you know, more similar for each test. So the results are hopefully not tainted by the ability to outprice certain things. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been taking the lowest market price. Pretty easy to do. As you can see here on the insight, by the way, we are looking at everything for a current capacity of 75. It's all set up perfectly. So let's get some people hired in and get the first day going and meet back up. All right, guys, the store is now no longer temporarily closed. So it's open. It's 3:44 in the morning, so it's not actually open yet. Schedule, just as before, 8 to 12. We're going to work that out and see how it looks. Again, to keep everything congruent. This is the schedule. No security guards in this case. Very easy peasy. Super, super simple. So let's get the first day done here. We're just going to do that. And then that. So if you guys are curious, this is literally what I've been doing. I've been in this apartment for what feels like forever. Aside from when I go to look at the place after it's all said and done, or if I'm actually just setting it up, this is all the testing is. It's just sitting in the apartment and hitting 24 hours over and over again. Anyway, just a little tidbit. So looking at the account view, we made $68,922 in profit, including all this extra stuff here. So really, if we want to boil it down, we'll look at the actual business itself. It made $105,000 on its first day, which is not too bad, to be quite honest, with a profit of $94,206.63. Really not bad at all. So the next thing I want to look at here is the customers over time. So we do seem to get close to that 75 marker. We hit it a couple times, but we get close over here, especially later at night. In the morning, obviously no one's really showing up. I mean, if you're going to a liquor store at 6 in the morning to buy liquor, you better be having the party later on, because you should not be day drinking like that. Anyway, not too bad at 12 o'clock. I mean, 60 plus the entire time after that, I would say that's actually pretty good, to be quite honest. Now, obviously, the amount of customers drops dramatically after 10 o'clock, which actually I did not expect, to be honest. I thought it would stay pretty consistent all the way until I close. But here we are. Not too bad. Now, granted, I don't know why customer service is 68%. I'm assuming it has to climb, which I'm probably just misremembering. Looks like we do have theft, though, which, how much does it impact us? Let's see. We'll see the numbers moving forward, but I don't think it's justifiable. If like the theft is only, let's see, what our salaries are 2,100. It might be worth it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the theft actually looks like in a few days and go from there. If need be, I'll start day 10 with security guards, and then we'll know finally, you know, day 30, what's the actual true overall value of having a liquor store in an M1 location. So let's get to day 10, see how that looks, and get marketing started after that, and see where we sit with the liquor store at that point. All right, folks, day 10. So where do we sit now? Well, as you can see here, not too bad. $152,422.90 in overall profit, with $168,133.70 in revenue. Theft is still super minimalistic. In fact, in order to get the full perfect coverage, I'm assuming I would have to spend $280 in employees. So I'm not going to get security guards this one. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like we'll be fine. That's totally fine. Either way, not too bad. Sales wise, or rather customer wise, I should say, pretty decent here. I'm really feeling like marketing is not going to help. We're still going to do it, but I don't think it's going to help. It'll maybe bump up these numbers right here, but beyond that, I don't think it's really going to be worthwhile, but we'll see. So why don't we just get this in right now? We'll get all three of the, I mean, we do this together every single time at this point. We'll get all three of the billboards here, just to make sure we're covering all the bases and getting 100% in our marketing score. And then let's talk to McCain's, get that large internet campaign, and boom, there we go. So yeah, I'm not too surprised to see the liquor store performing as it is. I mean, obviously I'm not surprised. We've seen how many liquor stores I've made. But we'll see how marketing does in this case, because I don't think I ever did marketing in my Liquor Madness run. It was just, there were so many Liquor Madnesses that I couldn't, it didn't matter. It really just didn't matter. So we can see our promotion score again, exactly the same as everybody else, 97%. We are now at a 98% satisfaction rating. It's cleanliness is 93%, whatever. We're fine though. They're going to pay for our pricing. We're not impacted almost at all in that regard. But yeah, let's get to day 30 on this guy and see how marketing does for us and whether or not it's worthwhile. All right, folks. So it is now day 30 and we are looking at pretty much not a massive change in overall revenue and profit, etc. I wouldn't say this necessarily benefited the business. It also didn't really hurt it. I don't know. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual customers per hour. So it really, like I imagined, it bumped it up 20 customers an hour here at these 2 hours. Beyond that, 4 more customers here per hour. This went up slightly to another 20. So it did add 68 more customers per day. Did 68 customers spend $9,500? I guess. I mean, like I said, the numbers, they're very, very similar when including the marketing here. So I'm not entirely sure if marketing would even make sense. I mean, it doesn't hurt you, so I guess it does make sense, but I don't know. Anyway, not too bad. I would say, you know, let's look at the rivals board here. It puts us at number 6. 964,000 a week though. This one's saying 858,000 a week. So I'm still going to just go with this number here. So close to $1 million for the liquor store, but I don't know. I think it's worth putting liquor stores in an M1 location if, for whatever reason, you're being weird and doing a liquor store only run. Beyond that, I would prioritize the other businesses that we've seen so far over the liquor store for sure. I don't think liquor stores are honestly very good for an M1 location. Even though these numbers, like this number here is not bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. If it's your only choice, it's your only choice, whatever. But you know, there are better options. That's all. So next we have the nightclub, which we are also familiar with, very much so. We are gonna work on that one, and then finally we're gonna be doing the clothing store. So let's get the nightclub going here and see how that goes. All right, guys, so the nightclub is set up. We've seen it before. Not too bad of a setup if I say so myself. But yeah, this is what we're looking at here, and not too bad. It should cover everything that we need. Yep, 75 per hour on everything. So we're good to go on this place. We just need to make sure that we get the right employees in and the right products. So I'm gonna get that set up. It's gonna take a little bit longer, I'm sure, to get some employees, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, I'll see you guys here shortly for day one. All right, guys, so everything is set up inside the nightclub. Now, the schedule is the only thing that will have to be different. I cannot do 8 to 12 because the nightclub is, one, not a day club, and two, no one will show up between 8 a.m. and essentially 8 p.m. And really, honestly, 8 p.m. might be even stretching it here, but just to keep at least an 8-hour workday, I'm working from 8 until 4 a.m. for every single day, including Saturday, Sunday. It's all going to be the same here in this regard. I cannot feasibly imagine this business ever being successful if you leave it from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. It just would never work. So I'm going to go with this one in this case. This will be, you know, a comparative in this regard. This is how the nightclub works anyway. So it's not like I'm, you know, purposely messing it up or anything like that. So this will be a true comparison because, I mean, if you're going to run the nightclub in M1 location or any location for that matter, you're not going to be doing standard hours. It's always going to be like this. So I don't consider this a detriment in the end. I think this is still proper and still accurate information. So with that being said, everything is set up there. We have all the inventory and the pricing set to go. So we just need to click that button there, get it open, and let the first day go through. So we're going to do this one together. In this case, we'll land on day 12, which seems to be the case on all of these so far. And that is not by, like, it's coincidence. It's not on purpose. All right. So first day is not very good at all. Let's take a look here. So we had 111 customers overall. No one showed up between 12 and 4. I don't know what to make of that. We only had customers from 8, or not even, from 9 to 11, and that's it. Like, what happened there? Let's look at this real quick before we even continue. It doesn't say anything about the hours or how it's supposed to work. Let's take a look here. This is gonna be kind of like a little sidebar today. This is because the nightclub is so unique on how it works. I'm assuming. So they do 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Huh. See, if that's the case though, why in the world is my nightclub that's open from 12 to 4 as well? I don't get that. Anyway, I guess we'll find out here shortly. It may be because I started it at, I don't know, on Thursday. I don't know. It's kind of funky. So we're going to, one more time, we're going to do this together. So technically day 1 was terrible, but we'll see what this actual first day 1 looks like, because I think it may have been missing Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so that was the problem. So today is technically the first day. We're gonna say that now. So the main reason why, and this is what I think it is. When I opened the business, the 12 to 4 a.m. slot of yesterday had already passed. So it was only doing the 8 to 12 slot, which is not going to be the most beneficial, obviously. So that's what happened. So day one, where they were considered this now day one, let's take a look at the numbers here. Let's first go to the econo view. We made $75,761 in profit with a revenue of $83,283 and 45 cents. We have no theft, obviously, because of security guards and whatnot. Our costs aren't that bad, to be honest. We're looking pretty good there. But I mean, it looks like we made a decent amount, all things considered, especially compared to that first day. Jeez, that was, like I said, horrible. Let's look at the actual traffic here. So there we go. That makes more sense now. And I'm curious, should I have kept this as 12 to 6? I'm not sure, but I guess just to keep things congruent, we're going to keep it as is right now. But we could always assume that we might be doing more business if I were open till 6. That's, I guess, Hovguard, if you're watching this, maybe for the nightclub only, or maybe for all the businesses, put on the F1 menu what hours are normal. Don't tell us like, hey, by the way, on this certain period of time, this business does this well, or like, you know, just say like standard hours are, you know, 12 to 6 or 8 to 6 or something like that. Just very simple, straightforward. Don't tell us when it's the best, obviously. Just say that's what the hours typically are. So anyway, let's get to day 10, which now in this case will be day 23, and see what marketing does for us. I'm not too hopeful on marketing on this one, to be quite honest, because really the only increase would be another 23 customers at most per hour here. So another, what, 69? Nice. Overall. Anyway, let's see what happens here. All right, folks, it is now day 23. So nightclubs are really bad. I can tell you right now, result wise, what we're looking at, and it's not very good. This, I'm sorry to say, you're gonna have to ignore this one. So here's the deal. Nightclubs are, and I already knew this, but for testing purposes, I kept it open every single day. And I mean, we saw the schedule on the AI just a few moments ago. Nightclubs are not meant to be open during the weekdays. I know there is obviously a coat check fee for weekdays, but it is paltry. I mean, 30, 30, 30, 30, 16, 16, 16. Absolutely terrible. I mean, if we look at the econo view, we made 32,000 yesterday. It's a positive amount. Don't get me wrong, it's a positive amount. There's nothing wrong with making money on any business at all. It's just for an M1 business, we're still going to do the 30 days. Let me start with that. But I'm expecting to lose money. Well, not necessarily lose money. I'm expecting to not make up the cost of marketing in this case. So I'm expecting to lose money from marketing because the weekdays are so bad. Now the weekends, they're much better. As you can see here, we made 108,000 on, let's see, today is Tuesday, right? So this is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. So day 19 is Friday. We made 108,000. Saturday, 92,000. Sunday, 88,000. These numbers, not too bad. Now, this is the kicker. I could, and I'm not going to do this, but I could say like the most pertinent way to test this is to keep it as natural as possible and say that only be, you know, open maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's that. But in order for me to have a true comparison, I wanted to keep them open every single day. And again, they're making money. It's just, it's not very good. So it feels like a waste. Now let's see what day 30 entails, especially with, you know, having marketing going. I really don't expect a massive difference, to be honest. I really believe that we're going to be pretty much looking at a loss during the weekdays and maybe a slight bump on the weekends. But I mean, the weekends are already looking pretty decent. I did look at the daily numbers in terms of the customers per hour, and it was at, you know, at max for between 12 and 4, and I think it was at like 50 something per hour between 8 and 12 a.m. So, or 8 p.m. rather, and 12 a.m. So we'll see. But marketing's now active. We're going to meet back up here at day 43, because that would be day 30 overall. And we'll see how it performs. We'll see how well we do. Let's make sure we look at the rivals here. This is actually a good way to see. So we're currently making, according to this, $424,836 a week from this business. So let's see where we end up after day 30. All right, day 30. So I paid attention to the numbers for the most part, especially the customer numbers. I was correct, by the way. It maxed out at 75 between 12 and 4 on the weekends, and between 8 and midnight at 69. And I'm not kidding you. It literally was at those numbers. So I guessed very accurately where we would sit. So unfortunately, I was also correct in my assumption that marketing isn't really beneficial, and that's correct. I mean, it really doesn't change much at all. In fact, it looks like compared to last time, the numbers are worse. Now, the only difference that I'm seeing now is that during the weekdays, it went up just slightly, very slightly. We're talking like $1,000 more per day. That's it. So not very good. Looking at the rivals board again is a good way to just gauge. We actually ended up losing a little bit, I think. I can't remember exactly how much it was before, but it hasn't increased much at all. So final thoughts on the nightclub, not worth it. Don't put a nightclub in an M1. It is a waste of space. It is a money pit. Technically it's not, but it's just not worth it. This is not at all worth the time or the effort in an M1 location whatsoever. I mean, again, this is looking at a weekend. 70 is, you know, this is now down just slightly because this is Sunday, but it's not good. It's not a good business for a large location like this. You need all the extra stuff just to, you know, meet the demand of 75 an hour, and it's seriously, it's just not worth it. Only in small locations is it worth it. I think this is probably going to be the worst business overall in this location type, simply because of its limited hours and its limited customer base during the weekdays. So it's just not, unfortunately, very good. But thankfully for us, we get one more look at a business, and that's going to be a very good business, in my opinion. I think probably in the top 3, to be honest, and that's going to be clothing. So let's get that place going and meet back up at day 1. All right, folks, so the business is ready to go. Thankfully, in clothing stores, you are actually allowed to have jewelry, which is nice. So we are going to be selling jewelry as well, though we will also have a jewelry store to do here in the next video. But as it stands right now, we are looking at a pretty healthy amount of pricing here for the clothing store. A schedule, very straightforward as usual. Thankfully, 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. We'll see how that works out. And then, yeah, we just need to get this place finally opened. It's 3:30 in the morning on the day that we'll start, which is day 10 in this case. First time, I think, that we're able to start at day 10. Now, I want to show you what the business actually looks like. So we're going to head on over here real quick. We're just going to take this taxi to go down the block because I'm lazy. But this should be a familiar face, so to speak, as it pertains to clothing store. Now, I don't know if you guys remember or anything like that from my 0.4 game playthrough. There was like cigars and wine and like all this extra random crap in here, and there's like cheap gifts and stuff. I got rid of that. I kept what actually should be inside this store. And it's just clothes and jewelry. So that's what we're going to start with. And that's what we're going to stick with, I should say. So not a terribly complex design or anything like that. Just clothes and jewelry. But yeah, I mean, the interior design score is 99%. We might as well just beef it up that extra 1% if we can. Make sure everything is as congruent as possible. Now, I know the flooring does not need to be changed because that's all marble. But I'm thinking it's because of this back room here as to why we're not at 100%, which honestly, Hoveguard, if it's possible, don't sweat it if it's not, of course. But if it's possible, can you somehow make this part of the business not applicable to the interior score? Because how many people are in, like, this is one of those things that you should take from real life. As a customer, you shouldn't be going into the back room. You don't belong in the back room as a customer. So I don't feel like the back room should affect the interior score. Just my opinion. But again, if you can't, if it's like something that's really difficult or annoying to do, to code or whatever have you, whatever, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. I mean, it just means we have to paint the back room, whatever. Anyway, guys, let's actually get the first day done and meet up at that point. Okay, day one. What are we looking at? So we're seeing 118,000 in revenue. We have $20,000 in theft. I think I know what's going on. I forgot the blueprint I used does not have, I have security guards in there now, but it doesn't have security cameras. So I need to add those. So let's take this first day with a grain of salt. We can honestly just add it up in the calculator because I'm going to get it to perfect so there is no theft. So the profit right now is $75,745.38. Let's add the amount in theft, which is $19,413.55. So in reality, excluding the theft, we actually made $95,158.93 in profit. Again, we're not actually seeing that because of the theft, but that's my fault. I'll add the cameras in here so we don't have to worry about that moving forward. But not too bad for the first day. You know, looking at the actual customers, not very good. I really think marketing is going to make a huge impact here. Now, this is day one stuff, so I expect these numbers to be slightly higher. In fact, I'm thinking that we're probably going to average without marketing probably 40 to 45 customers an hour, especially considering that this is going to be a type of location where there's going to be a high return because of our pricing, but a low amount of customers per hour. So congruent to, the fact that it takes 75 an hour. So I'm going to go get the cameras so we can actually get that taken care of. Yeah, it's 55% security. It's not very good, even though it says good, that's a lie. Anyway, let me get that situated. We'll meet back up at day 10, and I am pretty certain we're going to be looking at a massive increase in profits. So let's see. Okay, guys, day 10 has arrived. We are looking at a nice profit of $195,451.50 for yesterday. And we're kind of seeing essentially floating around 170 to 190. Not too bad at all. Revenue wise, between 180 and 240,000. Pretty good, especially considering that our daily amounts are only maxing at 24 an hour at most. So there is huge potential for marketing to increase our sales. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm excited to see how this works. Oh, they're closed today. All right, so I got to wait until Monday, which is really not helpful. That's super unfortunate. Okay. Cool. So I guess they open on Monday. All right, well, this is why I start at day 12 usually. Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to push the day forward at least a couple days, so give me just a moment for that. Okay, so it is technically and obviously day 12, but we had to do this, unfortunately, because of how these guys are open. So let's add all the billboards. I seriously can't wait to see this. I really can't wait to see this. I'm genuinely excited to see how much of an impact this will actually make now. All right, so now they're set up. I'm still going to consider day 40 as day 30. I mean, really, quite frankly, does it make that much of a difference between then and now? No, because you don't even get to see the information between any of the days other than, you know, day, I think, what, 38 to day 4. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see it. So we'll just meet back here at day 30 now that we have all the marketing set to good to go. I want to show you this first. We are making 1.3 million a week from the clothing store, which is pretty damn good if I say so myself. We're almost, if we didn't have all the extra expense of renting every single building in existence in Midtown, we would probably be at number 2 right now. But because we do, we aren't. But that doesn't matter. We only care about this number right here. And I'm expecting, with marketing, I'm expecting the increase to at least go to 60 per hour consistently, where it can. I mean, again, this is, I still think that this pattern here is going to hold, but I want these numbers. I'm assuming these numbers are going to bump up at least by 20. I'm hoping for 20 more customers at every single hour. And if that's the case, I mean, it's going to double our profit, because that's pretty much double, if not more, per hour than what we currently have. So that's the hope. Let's see how it works out and meet back up at day 30. All right, folks. So we are back. It's day 40, or day 30 for us, rather. Let's take a gander and see how we did. So profit-wise, 218,000 yesterday, and roughly above 200,000 every single day. So it does make a slight difference adding marketing. And I only say slight because I've been looking at it overall, and take a look. It only added 4 customers an hour. That's it. This one actually didn't change. That one didn't change. It barely bumped it up at all. The demand, surprisingly, and I don't know how this is possible, to be honest. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one here. Midtown. All right, so Midtown demand. I mean, the demand's still pretty high if you ask me. I mean, it's astonishing that this isn't really getting more money, to be honest. Now, it may be the pricing. I frankly, honestly don't know. I really don't know. But it's not doing as well as I thought it would. And, you know, it put us above, and we're at number 2. We're at 1.7 million from the business. So, I mean, it increased our income. Don't get me wrong. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be, surprisingly. But that being said, this is the type of stuff that you put in an M1 location. Almost 2 million a week. That's pretty freaking good. I firmly believe a clothing. So in my opinion, it's definitely this is gonna be the top 3, and this is in no particular order. This is just the 3 businesses that I think are in the top. So electronic stores, clothing stores, and hair salons. And that really hasn't changed for a while, especially since hair salons came out. So really, this being one of the big ones, it is no surprise that we're making as much as we are. My surprise is the fact that marketing didn't really make as much of a difference as I thought it would. However, it made clearly a difference. So there it is. Clothing stores are very strong. Liquor stores are not. And nightclubs, stay away from nightclubs in an M1 location. Don't put them there. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Unless you're a crazy person and decide to do a single type of business for like 30 plus videos. anyway, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, however, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. There's plenty more where I'm coming from here. And there's going to be some new stuff here pretty soon, I'm sure. And all that good stuff going on. Just be sure to subscribe. Obviously, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up as well. I appreciate that very much. And of course, as always, I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.